Have you ever felt like you're playing a game where you don't know the rules? A game of influence, perception, and power that others seem to navigate effortlessly while you're left guessing. What if I told you that the rules to this game were written down over 500 years ago, but have been deliberately kept from the average man? Today, we're unlocking a vault of forbidden knowledge, diving deep into the psychological warnings of Niccolo Machiavelli. This isn't just about history, it's about understanding the hidden dynamics of power that shape your life right now, from your career to your relationships. What they don't want you to know is that power isn't just given, it's taken, and it's maintained through a keen understanding of human psychology. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see the world through a completely new lens. When you hear the name Machiavelli, you probably think of his most famous work, The Prince. It's often painted as a cold, ruthless manual for tyrants. But that's a surface-level reading, convenient oversimplification. The real genius of Machiavelli wasn't just in advising rulers on how to hold onto power. It was in his brutally honest dissection of human nature itself. He wasn't telling us how the world should be. He was showing us how it is. And that's the first secret they hide from you. Reality is often uncomfortable, and those in power prefer you remain idealistic and naive. They want you to believe in fairness and merit alone, because while you're busy playing fair, they're playing to win. Let's get into the first warning from Machiavelli. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Now, this sounds harsh, right? It sounds like you should be a terrible person, but that's not the point. The psychological insight here is about stability and human nature. Love, Machiavelli observed, is held by a chain of obligation which, because men are fickle, is broken at every opportunity for their own advantage. But fear, he said, is held by a dread of punishment which never fails. Think about it in a modern context. Your boss wants to be liked, but if their friendship is the only thing stopping you from slacking off, what happens when a better offer comes along? You're gone. But if there's a clear understanding of consequences, of professional standards, that structure holds. This isn't about being a tyrant. It's about earning respect that is so solid, people wouldn't dare to cross you, not out of malice, but because they understand the stability and strength you represent. Being a nice guy who gets walked all over isn't noble. It's ineffective. The hidden lesson is that true strength commands respect, and sometimes that respect has an edge of fear. The second powerful warning is about perception. Machiavelli famously wrote that men judge more by their eyes than by their hands. In other words, appearances matter more than reality. This is a tough pill to swallow for honest, hard-working men who believe their actions should speak for themselves. You believe your results at work should be enough for a promotion. You believe being a good, loyal partner should be enough in a relationship. But Machiavelli warns us that people don't see all your hard work. They don't see your late nights or your quiet sacrifices. They see what you project. They see the image you craft. A person who appears confident, successful, and in control will be treated as such, often regardless of the messy reality behind the scenes. Those in power are masters of this. They manage their public image with military precision. This is why a well-tailored suit, a confident posture, and articulate speech can be more powerful than a spreadsheet full of data. It's not about being fake. It's about understanding that you are the director of your own movie. You must control the narrative. If you don't define yourself, others will, and they probably won't do you any favors. Now, let's talk about the third, and perhaps most crucial, Machiavellian secret: the nature of allies and enemies. Machiavelli gave a stark warning about using mercenaries or auxiliaries, which are forces belonging to someone else. He said they are useless and dangerous. Why? Because their loyalty is to themselves, not to you. In our lives, a mercenary is the friend who's only around when you're buying the drinks, or the colleague who helps you only when it benefits their own career. They are not true allies. A true ally's success is tied to your own. Their ship rises with your tide. The secret they hide from men is the importance of building your own foundation, your own army. This means cultivating a small, loyal circle of people whose interests are genuinely aligned with yours. It means being self-reliant, Don't outsource your power. Don't depend on the goodwill of those who have no stake in your success. Learn the skills yourself. Build the relationships yourself. Create your own value. A man who stands on his own feet, supported by a few trusted brothers in arms, is a fortress. A man who depends on the shifting loyalties of mercenaries is a house of cards, ready to collapse at the first gust of wind. The fourth psychological insight is about adaptation. Machiavelli wrote about the fox and the lion. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. Therefore, one must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten off wolves. What does this mean for you? It means that brute force and raw strength are not enough. You can't just be the lion roaring and charging through every problem. You'll walk straight into a trap set by someone more cunning. You also can't just be the fox, always scheming and avoiding direct confrontation. When the wolves come, you'll be torn apart. The modern man is often encouraged to be one or the other. Either be the aggressive alpha, the lion, or the clever intellectual, the fox. Machiavelli says this is a false choice. True power lies in being both. You must have the wisdom to see the social traps, the office politics, the hidden agendas. That's your inner fox. But you must also have the courage and strength to confront threats directly when necessary, to stand your ground, to protect your boundaries. That's your inner lion. The ability to shift between these two modes, to adapt to the situation, is a form of psychological power they don't teach you in school. They want you to be predictable, to be one or the other, because a predictable man is an easily controlled man. Finally, let's address the most misunderstood Machiavellian concept: the ends justify the means. This phrase has been used to justify all sorts of atrocities. But what Machiavelli was getting at is a powerful lesson in pragmatism and responsibility. He was speaking to a prince, a leader whose actions affected the lives of millions. In that context, a leader might have to make a difficult, morally gray decision to ensure the stability and safety of the state. For us, the lesson is not to be ruthless. It's to be results-oriented and to stop letting perfect be the enemy of good. So many men are paralyzed by indecision. They want the perfect plan, the perfect outcome, with no risk and no downsides. They wait, and opportunity passes them by. Machiavelli teaches us to focus on the objective. What is the goal? To get that promotion? To build that business? To improve your health? Then you must take action, even if the path isn't perfectly clean or easy. It means understanding that sometimes you have to make uncomfortable choices. You might have to have a difficult conversation, cut off a negative influence, or take a calculated risk. The end isn't just about your personal gain. It's about your responsibility to create a better future for yourself and those you care about. The secret is that effective men are not dreamers. They are builders. And building sometimes requires getting your hands dirty. So, let's bring it all together. What have they been hiding from you? They've hidden the fact that the world operates on psychological power, not just on merit or fairness. They've hidden the truth that respect is more durable than likability. They've hidden the reality that perception often trumps substance. They've hidden the vital importance of self-reliance and true alliances over convenient friendships. And they've hidden the necessity of being both cunning and courageous, the fox and the lion. They want you to stay in the dark, to play a game you can't win. But the teachings of Machiavelli, when understood correctly, are not a guide to becoming a monster. They are a lantern in the darkness. They are a map to navigating the complex, often treacherous, terrain of human interaction. This is not about manipulating others for selfish gain. It's about understanding the system so you are no longer a pawn in someone else's game. It's about taking control of your own life, protecting your interests, and achieving your goals in a world that is not always on your side. This is the psychological power Machiavelli warned us about. And now, the power you can begin to understand and use for yourself. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive. If this opened your eyes, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content that empowers you with real-world knowledge. Click that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration. What was your biggest takeaway? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay sharp, and stay in control.